Welcome, UCL fans, to our Week 4 review for the United Championship League Off-Season Little Cup Tournament. I'm your host, Nintendo Fanatic 64, and we're going to be taking a look at all 8 matches that took place this week. Now, a little bit of a correction from the last week, when the Pittsburgh Pichus and Grand Canyon Greninjas did not have their match. I still have not seen anything of it, but it appears as though the win was awarded to the Pittsburgh Pichus, so putting them at the time, Pittsburgh Pichus going to 1-2, the Grand Canyon Greninjas being 0-3. So, with all that out of the mind, just keep in mind, if you do enjoy this video, I ask that you leave it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comment section what you believe was the best match of the week, and please feel free to subscribe for more UCL news and information videos that I do here every Tuesday and Thursday. So we're going to start off in the Sinnoh Division. We had the Long Island Reggie-Rockies, who were 2-1, taking on the Philadelphia Feraligators, who were 0-3. And it was a 4-0 victory for the Long Island Reggie-Rockies. MVP of the match goes to Magpie from the Long Island Reggie-Rockies with a 5-knockout sweep after setting up a belly drum. Up next, we have the Durham Druddigons, who are 1-2, taking on the Newcastle Nido-Kings, who are 3-0 right now. And it was a 1-0 victory for the Newcastle Nido-Kings. MVP of the match goes to Glameow from the Newcastle Nido-Kings, who managed to get 3 knockouts this week. Moving on to the Kanto Division, we had the South Beach Slow Kings, who were 2-1, taking on the Tulsa Talonflames, who were 1-2. However, due to internet reasons, the South Beach Slow Kings were forced to forfeit the match, so the match has been awarded to the Tulsa Talonflames. We also had the Bristol City Blazekins, who are 0-3, taking on the Real Marills, who are 3-0, and it was a 4-0 victory for the Real Marills. MVP of the match goes to Azuriel from the Real Marills, who managed to get 3 knockouts this week. Moving on to the Johto Division matches, we had the Tucson Terrakions, who are 1-2, taking on the Carolina Keldios, who were 2-1. And it was a narrow 1-0 victory for the Tucson Terrakions. MVP of the match goes to Porygon from the Tucson Terrakions, who managed to get 3 knockouts this week. Up next, we have the Bronx Bearticks, who are 3-0, taking on the Toronto Tokakis, who were 0-3. And it was a 4-0 victory for the Bronx Bearticks. MVP of the match goes to Geodude from the Bronx Bearticks, who managed to get 4 knockouts this week. Finally, moving on to the Hoenn Division, we had the Pittsburgh Pichus, who are 1-2 right now, taking on the New York Yankees, who are 2-1. And it was a 3-0 victory for the New York Yankees. MVP of the match goes to Scraggy from the New York Yankees, who managed to get 2 knockouts this week. Final match of the week, we have the Grand Canyon Greninjas, who are 0-3, taking on the St. Louis Rampardos, who are 3-0. And it was a 3-0 victory for the St. Louis Rampardos. MVP of the match goes to Diglett from the St. Louis Rampardos, who managed to get 3 knockouts this week. And for a difference, I'm also going to be adding in a match of the week, one of the matches that I felt was really one of the best ones. So if you do enjoy this little feature, let me know in the comment section below if you enjoy it and want to see this happen even when we move on to the regular season. So the match of the week, it was a real toss-up between the Tucson Terrakions versus the Carolina Keldios, as well as the Durham Druddigons versus the Newcastle Nido-Kings, as of course both matches went down to a 1-0, but I have to give the edge to the Tucson Terrakions versus the Carolina Keldios. It was really came down. It was almost could have been a 2-0, but it just was not meant to be, and it just really great match. So I definitely advise, if you have not yet seen that, definitely go check that one out. So that takes care of the review for the week. Now let's go ahead. We're going to pull up the standings now. So here are the current standings after week 4. So from the Sinnoh Division, we have the Newcastle Nido-Kings rocking out in first place, followed by the Long Island Reggie-Rockies, the Durham Druddigons, and the Philadelphia Feraligators. Now, if Long Island can win the remainder of the weeks, which includes when they take on the Newcastle Nido-Kings again, then the Sinnoh Division will come down to a one-on-one match between the team captains, which with the Newcastle Nido-Kings being Nidoran Male and the Long Island Reggie-Rockies being Hippopotas. Now, it's hard to say if that will happen. We'll find out very soon if this match will end up going down to it. It all really depends on if the Long Island Reggie-Rockies defeat the Newcastle Nido-Kings, as well as defeating the Durham Druddigons once again. I believe that match actually takes place next week, or this upcoming weekend for it. So In the Kanto division, we have the Real Marills rocking out in first place with 4-0 with a 4-0 record right now. South Beach Slow Kings and Tulsa Town Flames tied at 2-2 apiece. Bristol City Blazekins winless so far. Now, it's still possible that South Beach Slow Kings or Tulsa Town Flames can still make it into at least a playoff match against the Real Marills to determine who will make it into the playoffs. They just have to, one of them have to win for the next 2 weeks, but of course both of them still have to face the Real Marills. They would also have to hope that the Real Marill actually loses to both South Beach Slow Kings and Tulsa Town Flames over the course of the next 2 weeks. So, will that happen? It's hard to say, but I think there's a good chance that the Real Marills will move out of the Kanto division into the semifinals. And who they would face would be coming out of the Johto division, which currently looks like it will be Bronx Beartics, currently 4-0. Tucson Terrakions, Carolina Keldios leading behind 2-2 apiece. And, of course, Toronto Tokakis bringing up the rear with an 0-4 record. Same situation as in the Kanto division. The Tucson Terrakions and Carolina Keldios both have a chance at making it into the playoff match if they can both defeat the Bronx Beartics, and then in addition to that, Bronx Beartics have to lose the next 2 weeks. So, as of right now, it looks very heavily favored on the Bronx Beartics. It'll all come down to what happens this weekend. If the Bronx Beartics pull out a win, then they will definitely be moving on because there are no teams that can catch up to them as far as the standings go. It'll be the same with the Kanto division and the Real Marills. Finally, we have the Hoenn division. St. Louis Rampardos starting off number 1, 4-0. New York Yankees right behind them with a 3-1 record. Pittsburgh Pichus record 1-3, and the Grand Canyon Greninjas being 0-4. So this is, of course, who would play off against the Sinnoh Division champs. And it comes down really to the St. Louis Rampardos and the New York Yankees. Now, the New York Yankees just need to win for the rest of the season, which includes the Week 6 opponents of the St. Louis Rampardos. Again, all these situations are possible. It will be all determined over the next couple weeks. When it comes to the New York Yankees and the St. Louis Rampardos, though, it is going to be super difficult to tell just due to the fact that in all league play so far, the New York Yankees have never yet beaten the St. Louis Rampardos. But I believe after what happened in Week 3, New York Yankees have learned what mistakes they need to do in order to actually conquer the Rampardos in Week 6. So, again, who knows how that's going to be going down. We still have a few weeks to go. But it looks like it will probably be, the top teams being, the Newcastle Nido Kings taking on the St. Louis Rampardos in the playoffs. Real Marills taking on the Bronx Beartics. So there's a good chance the Bronx Beartics making themselves, not just the Season 1 champs, but their off-season champs as well. But, again, we still have at least 2 more weeks in regular season play, plus we have the playoffs and championship matches. So, thank you all very much for watching. Like I said, what do you think was the match of the week in your eyes for it? And if you did enjoy, please leave it a thumbs up. Let me know what other kinds of stuff you want to see, and please feel free to subscribe if you want to see more UCL content coming your way. So, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and good night.